House of the Dragon Evil tier list, let's go. Starting with Laris. Laris is definitely a schemer, but he's not out here cackling and twirling a mustache. He's more of a gray area kind of guy. First off, let's look at his motivations. Laris isn't after the throne or ultimate power. He's playing the game to survive and advance his position. Can we really blame him in the cutthroat world of Westeros? Sure, he did some pretty messed up stuff, like offing his own family. But in the grand scheme of things, that's basically a Tuesday in King's Landing. He's not exactly winning any Son of the Year awards, but he's not Ramsay Bolton either. Laris is more of an opportunist than a straight-up villain. He aligns himself with whoever can help him climb the ladder. Is it selfish? Yeah. But is it pure evil? Debatable. Let's not forget, he does show loyalty to Alicent. In his own twisted way, he's actually trying to help her out. It's not exactly friendship goals, but it's something. At the end of the day, Laris is playing the Game of Thrones. He's not trying to burn the world down or torture people for fun. He's just trying to come out on top, and he's willing to get his hands dirty to do it. So that's why I'd put Laris strong in the neutral tier of evilness. He's not a hero by any means, but he's not the big bad either. He's just another player in the game, doing what he thinks he needs to do to win. Next, our boy Viserys Targaryen might just belong in the evil tier. Yeah, I know, it's a bit of a hot take, but hear me out. First off, let's address the dragon in the room. Viserys isn't your typical cackling villain. He's more of a good intentions, terrible execution kind of guy. But sometimes, that can be even worse. Think about it. This dude's indecisiveness basically kicked off a civil war. The Dance of the Dragons? That's on him. He couldn't make up his mind about succession, and boom, Westeros goes up in flames. Then there's the whole deal with Emma. I mean, cutting open your wife without her consent? That's pretty dark, even for Westeros standards. Sure, he was trying to save his heir, but at what cost? Let's not forget how he treated Rhaenyra. One minute she's his heir, the next he's having more kids and muddying the waters. Talk about setting your kid up for failure. And don't even get me started on his second marriage. Marrying your daughter's bestie? That's not just creepy, it's a political powder keg. The thing is, Viserys had power. He could have made things better, could have prevented a lot of bloodshed. But instead, he just kinda didn't. He let things fall apart around him while he played with his little model city. So yeah, maybe Viserys isn't evil in the mustache-twirling, puppy-kicking sense, but his actions, or lack thereof, led to some seriously evil consequences. And in the Game of Thrones, intentions don't count for much when the realm is burning. That's why I'm putting Viserys in the evil tier. Not because he wanted to be evil, but because his weakness and indecision paved the way for a whole lot of evil to go down. Criston Cole. So, Criston starts off as a pretty decent guy, right? Honorable, dutiful, easy on the eyes. But man, does this guy take a turn. First off, let's address the Joffrey situation. Beating a guy to death at a wedding? That's not cool, bro. Serious anger management issues there. Then there's how he treats Rhaenyra after their little encounter. Look, getting rejected sucks, but going full "if I can't have you, no one can"? That's some toxic behavior right there. Criston's also got this whole holier-than-thou attitude going on. He acts like he's all about honor, but he's pretty quick to switch sides when it suits him. Loyalty? Never heard of her. But here's the thing. Criston's not entirely evil. He's more like bitter and petty evil. He's not out here trying to conquer the world or burn cities. He's just a dude who got his feelings hurt and decided to make it everyone else's problem. You could argue that a lot of his actions come from a place of hurt and resentment, rather than pure malice. Does that excuse what he does? Nah. But it does make him more somewhat evil than full-on villain. Plus, let's be real. In the world of Westeros, Criston's brand of evil is like Tuesday. He's not great, but he's not the worst thing walking around either. So that's why Criston Cole lands in the somewhat evil tier. He's definitely not winning any Nice Guy of the Year awards, but he's not quite in the big leagues of Westerosi villainy either. What do you think? Is Criston more misunderstood than evil, or is he worse than I'm giving him credit for? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Lyman Beesbury, neutral tier. Alright, let's talk about our boy Lyman Beesbury. Lyman's basically that one guy in the office who's all about following the rules. As Master of Coin, he's just trying to do his job and keep the realm's finances in check. Nothing too heroic, nothing too villainous, just a dude doing his 9 to 5. Now, he does stand up for Rhaenyra's claim to the throne, which is pretty cool of him. But let's be real, he's not out there leading rebellions or anything. He's more like that one coworker who speaks up in meetings but doesn't rock the boat too much. Lyman's biggest moment is when he calls out the Green Council for their scheming. That takes some guts, but it's also kind of his job, you know? He's not going above and beyond, he's just doing what he's supposed to do. In the end, Lyman's just a guy trying to do the right thing in a world that's gone crazy. He's not a hero. He's not a villain. He's just there. And sometimes, in a place like Westeros, just being there and not actively screwing people over is enough to land you in the neutral zone. Helaena Targaryen, good tier. Helena's like that one friend who's just too pure for this world. In the cutthroat Game of Thrones, she's out here just vibing with her bugs and being a good mom. First off, she's got this whole prophetic thing going on. But does she use it for evil? Nah. She's not out here manipulating people or trying to gain power. She's just existing, man. Helena's also a victim of circumstance. She didn't ask to be married to her brother or caught up in all this succession drama. But does she complain? Not really. She just rolls with it and tries to make the best of things. What really puts her in the good tier is how she treats others. She's kind to her kids, she's not mean to anyone, and she generally just minds her own business. In a world where everyone's trying to backstab each other, Helena's just trying to live her best life. Plus, let's not forget how she reacts to the whole blood and cheese incident. That's some heavy stuff. But she doesn't go on a revenge rampage or anything. She's just sad. It's a very human, very relatable reaction. So yeah, Helena's in the good tier because in a world full of schemers and power-hungry folks, she's just out here being a decent human being. And in Westeros, that's about as good as it gets. Aemon's not just embracing the dark side, he's giving it a bear hug. That eye patch, he's not even trying to hide that he's the bad guy. Now let's talk about his actions. Remember when he was a kid and straight up stole Vhagar? That's like taking your cousin's bike, if the bike was a massive, fire-breathing death machine. Not cool, bro. But wait, there's more. This guy's got a temper that makes the Red Wedding look chill. He's always ready to throw down, and with Vhagar at his back, it's not exactly a fair fight. Speaking of unfair fights, let's talk about what went down with Luke. Chasing your nephew through a storm on your giant dragon? That's not just evil, that's overkill. And the whole, oops, didn't mean to kill him thing? Yeah, not buying it, dude. Aemon's also got this whole superiority complex going on. He's not just content with being powerful, he needs everyone to know he's the biggest, baddest dude around. It's like he's compensating for something. Maybe that missing eye? But what really seals the deal for the devil tier is how much he seems to enjoy it all. This isn't a guy who's doing bad things for a greater good, or because he has to. Nah, Aemon's out here living his best villain life. He's got the look, the attitude, the actions, and the dragon to back it all up. In a world full of morally gray characters, Aemon stands out as just straight-up bad news. So there you have it. Aemon Targaryen, proudly representing the devil tier. He's not just embracing chaos, he's pouring it a drink and asking it to stay the night. Harwin strong, neutral. This dude's mainly known for two things: being strong, it's in the name, and being Rhaenyra's baby daddy. But in terms of the grand scheme, he's pretty low-key. Harwin's not out there plotting or scheming. He's just doing his job as a knight and, well, hanging out with the princess. Is having an affair with the heir to the throne a great idea? Probably not. But it's not exactly evil either. He seems to genuinely care for Rhaenyra and his kids, which is cool. But he's not going above and beyond to be a hero or anything. He's just there, doing his thing, not making waves, not causing trouble. In Westeros, that's about as neutral as it gets. Rhaenys Targaryen. Good. Rhaenys is like that cool aunt who's seen it all and isn't afraid to tell it like it is. She's got power, she's got a dragon, but she's not out there abusing it. She shows wisdom in trying to keep the peace, even when it means swallowing her pride. Remember when she advised caution during the whole succession drama? That's some good guy stuff right there. Plus, she's loyal to her family and stands by her principles. She might not always make the most popular choices, but she's trying to do what's right. Sure, she's not perfect. That scene in King's Landing, anyone? But in the world of Westeros, she's practically a saint. Alicent Hightower, somewhat evil. She's not cackling villain evil, but she's definitely stirring the pot. A lot of her actions come from a place of fear and insecurity, which is kinda understandable, but still leads to some not-so-great choices. Alicent's big on the whole protecting my kids thing, which is cool, but she takes it to the extreme. Pushing for her son to take the throne? That's some serious family drama right there. She's also got this holier-than-thou attitude that's pretty grating. Like, we get it. You're proper and dutiful. No need to look down on everyone else. But here's the thing. Alicent's not evil for the sake of being evil. She's more misguided and paranoid, hence somewhat evil. Otto Hightower, somewhat evil. This guy's the ultimate player in the Game of Thrones. He's always scheming, always plotting, always looking for an angle. But is he doing it because he's evil? Nah, he's just ambitious. Otto's big move was pushing Alicent towards Viserys, using your daughter as a political pawn. That's pretty cold, dude. But in his mind, he's securing his family's future. He's also the one who really kicks off the whole green versus black conflict. But again, it's not because he wants to watch the world burn. He's just looking out for number one. Otto's not out there trying to be the big bad. He's just a guy who's really good at playing the game. And in Westeros, playing the game often means doing some somewhat evil stuff. So, Aegon II. This dude's like if entitlement and debauchery had a baby, and then that baby grew up to wear a crown. First off, this guy's whole vibe is just off. He's not interested in ruling. He's interested in partying. Which, cool, you do you. But maybe not when you're supposed to be running a kingdom? Remember when they came to crown him and he was hiding in a brothel? That's not just irresponsible. That's next level, I don't give a flying dragon about my duties. But wait, it gets worse. This dude's got a nasty habit of, well, let's just say mistreating women. And by mistreating, I mean straight up assault. That's not just evil, that's despicable. Then there's the whole stealing the throne thing. Like, bro, your dad explicitly said it should go to Rhaenyra. But nah, Aegon's all about that might makes right life. And let's not forget how he treats his own family. Dude's got zero loyalty. He's cool with his brother losing an eye. He treats his sister wife like garbage. And he's not exactly father of the year material. But the cherry on top of this evil sundae? The way he deals with Rhaenyra when he finally gets his hands on her. Without spoiling too much for the non-book readers, let's just say it's brutal. And he doesn't just do it, he makes a spectacle of it. That's some next-level cruelty right there. Aegon II isn't just evil because of his actions, though. It's his whole attitude. He doesn't care about anyone but himself. He's not trying to be a good king. He's not even trying to be a decent human being. He's just in it for the power and the perks. Laena Velaryon, neutral. So, Laena Velaryon. This girl's like the chill surfer of the Targaryen world, riding dragons instead of waves. Here's why she's neutral. First off, Laena's just out here living her best life. She's not really involved in all the political drama. She's more about that dragon rider life, you know? Sure, she marries Daemon, which is a bit of a power move, but it seems like she genuinely likes the guy. She's not using him as a pawn or anything. Laena's also pretty cool with her family. She's not stirring up trouble or causing drama. She's just existing. The most dramatic thing she does is her final act. And that's more about personal choice than good or evil. It's intense, but it's not hurting anyone else. In the end, Laena's just a person trying to live her life in a crazy world. She's not out to help everyone, but she's not trying to screw anyone over either. That's peak neutral energy right there. Lionel strong, neutral. Lionel's main thing is just trying to do his job. As Hand of the King, he's all about giving good advice and keeping things running smooth. Nothing too heroic, nothing too villainous. He doesn't play favorites or scheme for power. He's just there to serve the realm. In Westeros, that's practically revolutionary. but it still lands him in neutral territory. Even when it comes to his son's, let's call it extracurricular activities, with Rhaenyra, Lionel tries to handle it responsibly. He's not covering it up, but he's not blabbing either. He's just trying to mitigate the damage. Lionel's big moment is when he tries to resign his hand. That's a pretty stand-up move, showing he values honor over power. But again, it's more about doing what's right than being a hero. In the end, Lionel's just a dude trying to navigate a messed-up situation as best he can. He's not out to change the world or burn it down. He's just doing his job and trying to keep his head down. So there you have it. Laena and Lionel, chilling in the neutral zone. They're not making waves, they're not causing trouble. They're just there. And sometimes, in a world as crazy as Westeros, just being there and not actively messing things up is enough to keep you neutral. Daemon Targaryen, evil. Demon, oh demon. This guy's like if chaos was a person, and then that person got a dragon. Here's the deal. Dude's got a serious case of I do what I want syndrome. Rules, laws, basic human decency? Nah, not for Demon. He's got some serious anger issues. Remember that whole air for a day thing? That's cold, man. And let's not even get into his habit of solving problems with violence. Demon's also got this weird thing with power and family. He's all about that Targaryen supremacy, but he's also cool with stirring up trouble within the family. But here's the kicker. Demon seems to enjoy being bad. He's not evil because he has to be. He's evil because it's fun for him. That's what really puts him in the evil tier. Corlys Velaryon, neutral. Corlys is all about that family legacy. He's ambitious, sure, but he's not out here trying to burn the world down. He plays the Game of Thrones, but he tries to do it relatively by the book. No midnight assassinations or backstabbing from this guy. Corlys shows loyalty to his allies, which is pretty rare in Westeros. He sticks by Rhaenyra even when things get tough. But he's not afraid to make some morally questionable moves for the sake of his house. Remember that whole business with Laenor? In the end, Corlys is just trying to navigate the treacherous waters of Westeros politics. He's not a saint, but he's not a villain either. He's just a dude trying to keep his house afloat. Rhaenyra Targaryen, somewhat evil. She starts off pretty cool, right? All about breaking glass ceilings and changing the rules. But power, it does things to people. Rhaenyra's got a bit of a rules don't apply to me attitude. Having secret affairs, lying about her kid's parentage. Not exactly squeaky clean behavior. She's also not afraid to use her power to get what she wants. Remember how she dealt with that whole rumor situation? Pretty harsh. But here's the thing. Rhaenyra's not evil for the sake of being evil. A lot of what she does comes from a place of self-preservation and protecting her claim. She's also capable of compassion and loyalty, which keeps her from falling too far down the evil rabbit hole. In the end, Rhaenyra's a product of her environment. She's playing the game the way she was taught, which sometimes means doing some not-so-nice things. So there you have it. Demon cruising in the evil lane, Corlys chilling in neutral, and Rhaenyra dipping her toes in the somewhat evil pool. What do you think? Did we get it right, or are we way off base? Maybe Demon's just misunderstood? Maybe Rhaenyra deserves more slack? Let me know in the comments. Subscribe to the channel and I'll see you next time.